talk about the Barkley Marathon. Have you heard of it? This is a marathon equivalent to climbing up and down Mount Everest twice. And 40-year-old Jasmin Paris trekked the almost 130 miles in nearly 60 hours and is now the first woman to complete that big race. So the Barkley Marathon is known for its extreme conditions, its extreme kind of wacky rules, too, set up in a way to discourage participants from even finishing. The British veterinarian scientist set out to attempt the race a fourth time, and this time she did it, joining an exclusive club of only about 20 people to ever complete the challenge. Jasmin Paris joins us now. Jasmin, first off, thanks for joining, and my gosh, congratulations to you.
Thank you. Thanks very much. Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here.
You're the first woman to complete this race, one of only 20 to finish since it was expanded to 100 miles back in the 80s. That must feel surreal, but also quite painful, yes?
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely really hard, but it feels fantastic now that I managed to do it.
Yeah. Have you gotten the lactic acid out of your body yet and stretched out and rested?
That's good. That's gone. Yeah, recovering now.
Well, congratulations. The details of this race, too, they're insane. I mean, not only 100 miles long, and you have a 60-hour deadline, but rugged terrain, 60,000 feet of ascent and descent. Can I also just ask you a simple question? Why? Why do you do this to yourself?
I mean, I think doing something like this, I just like to take on challenges where I'm not quite sure whether I can do it. I think it's exciting. I find it kind of tantalizing to find out whether I can. And I know, when you do something like this, you know that you're going to find yourself up against the wall, and you kind of seeing what your reaction is to that and how you work your way around it. And afterwards, you feel a fantastic sense of achievement when you do go through those moments of real kind of suffering, and you share them with kind of other people, and there's a real sense of camaraderie afterwards and understanding of one another. So for all those reasons, I think that you take it on.
Yeah, you were all certainly cut from the same cloth, that is for sure. Take me back to the moment that you crossed that finish line. I saw the photo, you collapsed, there's onlookers. What was going through your mind at the moment when you knew you had finished in time?
I mean, that moment was fantastic. The moment before, obviously, I finished this race with like sort of 99 seconds to spare, I think, out of the 60-hour cutoff. So the last kind of uphill bit was a real sprint, which obviously after 60 hours of running up and down Everest twice, essentially, was a huge challenge sprinting up that final hill. And everything in me was desperate to stop. But I guess I just put my heart into it and realized that, because knowing that I didn't want to do it again, I just kind of put everything into it and thought I'm either going to collapse or I'm going to make it to the finish line. So, and when I reached it, it was a fantastic feeling. Once I'd gotten my breath back, the kind of reality of it sunk in, and it was just amazing. Yeah, elation.
Yeah, such a sense of accomplishment. Talk to me about, because I also understand there's no website for this event or even a published date as to when the marathon is going to happen. So how do you stay ready for something like this? What does your day-to-day and week-to-week look like?
I mean, you find out, if you've got an entry, you'll know what date it is, but you don't actually know what time the race starts. That's a well-known thing. You find out there's a sort of 12-hour window, and it depends when the race organizer blows his horn, and then you know that you have an hour to get ready. So there's that kind of uncertainty to it. But yeah, in terms of preparation, I did a lot of climbing of hills because there's a huge amount of ascent on this race. So a lot of running up and down the same hill multiple times in kind of the dead of night or the early mornings in winter here in Scotland. So that was my training. Yeah,
I was reading that you have to wait for the race, starter, conductor, whatever, to blow his conch shell in the middle of the night. Like, that's your cue to go. Lastly, Jasmin, what's next for you after you've crossed this off your bucket list?
I'm going to do some kind of, local Scottish hill racing for a bit. And then my next big race is in the Alps in Italian mountains in September time, which is the Tour de Géant, which is another one, I think, several hundred kilometers long and quite a lot of ascent. So that'll be fun as well. Just
reading the article about you last night made me tired, and I'm not even the one competing. Such an inspiration. Congrats to you, Jasmin Paris, for the accomplishment and for joining me this morning. I appreciate your time. Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. Also, don't forget to click that red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.